Ah, la 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 la. Ah, la la. Well, welcome back to the East Krok podcast. It's been a couple weeks, man. We back, baby. We back, baby. Um, I'm finally. I feel like I'm not, but I mean I am. I'd say like 99%, 99.5%. Uh, over my. I was sick for like a couple weeks, so it's going around. It wasn't the vid, wasn't none of that, but sickness is going around. I mean, everybody's sick. Literally everybody, you know. But is what it is. I'm better. Can't take me down. Can't take me down, cuz. I'm a champion, son. Champion. Uh, it's cold outside now. I hate it. Hate the cold. I mean, I would rather be. I don't know. I hate, like, I guess, I don't know. You can always put layers on, right? I guess. And for big people, for husky people, that's kind of nice. You can hide your flub. But, I don't know, dude. I hate the cold. Snow's okay. It snowed the other day, but snow is okay. I just hate the cold. If it could be like 75 and snowing, like one day, that'd be cool. But you can't, you know. But I hate the cold, man. Like I'm not used to wearing pants so much. I just want to rock shorts. Like I'll even go outside in shorts still, which I'm sure a lot of people do. I mean, you just kind of build tolerance. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Shorts are just so nice. So comfy. Let the knees out, knees exposed. You know, snows out, knees. That don't rhyme. But yeah, it's getting cold out. But speaking of all hold on. This is like episode. It's like 19. It's like 19. Um, sorry, it's been a couple weeks. Just recording. Just sick for one. Like I mean, the last episode I recorded, I was sick. So that was 2 weeks ago. So I was just getting over this thing. You know what I mean? Hit me hard, but you can't take down the champ. Can't take me down. You know what I mean? Don't bring me down, Bruce. But don't bring me down, Bruce. But yeah, but it's COVID. So like over the last couple weeks, we had the Aaron Rodgers thing, which he shouldn't have stretched the truth. I'm not gonna say lied because I mean I don't know. Maybe he lied. I don't know, but he shouldn't have like stretched the truth. Packers organization got fined $300,000, which is like $100 bill to you and me, and then Rodgers got fined $14,000, which was less than what CeeDee Lamb got fined for having his jersey untucked on the sidelines. So I don't know. You can see how serious they take this stuff. I think it's just like political at that point. So just covering their bases, they're dotting their I's, P's in their Q's and Q's. So, but Rodgers had that scare thing now, but he's back obviously, and I'm with him though on that stuff. Like you should be able to choose what you want to do. Who gives a shit? But the only thing that was weird is like he's going to these press conferences without a mask on, which is like an NFL policy or rule or whatever it is. And his excuse was like, "Well, I'm going into a room where everybody asking questions is more than 6 feet away or whatever. Why should it matter?" Which I get, like logic, common sense. You know what I mean? Like, but whatever. He's fine. We got him back. We had that week. I mean, don't even count that week, but back. Shout out the Seahawks. That was Russell Wilson's like first shutout in forever, I think, or ever in the NFL. So fuck yeah, doc. But now Antonio Brown. So in today's news, right, or recent news, whatever, Antonio Brown is being accused of lying. Antonio Brown being from the Buccaneers, obviously, and he's accused of lying or falsifying vaccination cards. or his vaccination card. And the guy that's accusing him is his chef. His chef is like, nah, fuck this guy. So either he treats the chef poorly, or that chef guy's a piece of shit, narc, ratting him out. But the chef is accusing Antonio Brown of getting the vaccination card from a fellow teammate whose name has not been released or whatever. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen there and if that's true or not, because I got my vaccination card. I'm vaccinated. Which, here's my thing on it. Don't want to get all political, but if I get turned into a zombie or whatever, I don't care, but I just can't, jump job to job because I just can't. It's just, I got to pay my bills. It's just me, I mean, my dog isn't vaccinated, so we've been arguing about that for the last couple months, but yeah, but no, just no, fucking, we'll see what happens with this Antonio Brown thing, because I'm just curious to see, because the vaccination cards, when I got mine, that's what I was saying. So when I got mine, it's just like a piece of paper. I think mine's written in pencil. I went to Costco, and I walked into the back and had this, Kirkland brand pharmacist that was back there, whatever he is. And I'm just like, yo, I'm here for the little J&J, the one done wonder, the one and done. You hit me up with the fluids, give me the antibodies, you know what I mean, or whatever it is. And I walk back there, and the guy is like, all right, just sign this piece of paper. It's got 3 bullet points saying are you old? Are you going to die soon? Is it okay if we stab you with a needle? And I'm like, sure. And then signed it. Waited 20 seconds. The guy's like, yeah, just come around the side here and into this back room. Went to the back room, sit down, and the guy pulls out the little J&J bottle, gives her the old fucking and shakes it up quick. And I don't like needles, so I didn't watch. So I don't even know if he actually put anything in me. In my, injection wise. Pause. But he didn't. I don't even know. But he just stabbed me. Took fucking 30 seconds. Handed me my piece of paper, just handwritten, Steve's good. Tell your friends, and then it's okay for him to work. And he just handed it to me. I have the vaccination card. Keep it in the truck, just in case I get pulled over by the New World Order cops. And then they are like, yo, you vaxxed? And I'm like, yeah, I'm vaxxed, cuz. And I hand him the card and send me on my way, so I don't have to deal with that shit. But my livelihood, I don't want to interrupt my life goes on. You know what I mean? Putting everything aside, life's got to go on, and I can't. I don't want to afford to fucking. I can't afford that shit. You know what I mean? So, anyway, Antonio Brown is lying or faking it. So if it's just a card and you can handwrite on that thing, I guess my point is I could erase some of the shit and just put in whatever. I'm sure, but who knows? That's all I know as far as the COVID shit, the vaccine cards. I mean, mine's not even laminated. You know what I mean? And everybody knows that if it's legit, it's laminated. Laminated is, that's like chisel. It's like in stone. So that's, it's laminated, dog. But Antonio Brown, shit, idiot. I mean, he's an idiot anyway. I thought him going to Tampa was the best thing for him because Tom Brady, keep him in check, all this stuff, which has been going great. I think he hasn't played in a couple weeks. He had an ankle injury. But if he's back, he's ruled out for sure, for Monday night, this upcoming Monday night game, so whatever. But, fucking Antonio Brown, dude. COVID. Somebody else is out. Amari Cooper's out for it now. It's it's just stupid. Is it not just okay, so I've seen the worst of it, or I've heard of the worst of it. I guess I haven't seen the worst of it, but I've heard the worst of it. It puts people in hospitals with poor health and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I'm just over all of it. I think everybody is. It's like that Kyle Rittenhouse case. I think hopefully everybody's over it. Or the verdict came out. Hopefully everybody's over it. I agree with you can't fight the footage. You can't, all the self-defense stuff. All the he shouldn't have been there. Nobody else should have been there either. I hate it. But what I don't like, and this is where it gets a little political, is I don't like that people are making it about what it's other things that it's not. Like, and they do the what if shit. Well, what if it was a gooba goo, and he had a bit of boo and blah blah blah. Well, if the cops would have killed him if it's like stupid. I think that's absolutely stupid. That's what's wrong with this world, and I hate it. Let's move to Mars or something, or send these people to Mars. Fuck them. But I'm happy that he was acquitted of charges. I didn't go into detail on any of the case, but like I'm happy that I'm happy of the process. Like I think the defense attorney was an absolute. Is it the defense attorney or the prosecutor? Whatever it was like that skinny dude with the glasses. I thought he had like a faux hawk. If your lawyer has a faux hawk, you lost. I mean, you don't even start the trial. He comes walking in with a faux hawk, like he's John Tucker or something. John Tucker didn't have a faux hawk, but he comes in like just a douche. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. And none of the shit he brought up like really made sense. Like, there's no logic or common sense of some of the questions, And even that Kyle Rittenhouse kid his comments, like the guy's like, "Well, can you explain what a hollow point bullet would do to a deer?" And it's like, well, people don't use hollow points for a deer, which I guess is kind of avoiding the question, but it's like that would never happen. Nobody uses that hollow points, and they blow, they open, Anyway, I'm just happy with the verdict because of the system and the way it processed. They had good evidence. The video evidence with what they had. They went over everything. They showed self-defense. They didn't show him mowing down a bunch of people or with no true intent to go just shoot whoever. I think there's a video that came out that was like him talking about, I would just, because he was watching like rioters or looters. And he's like, if I had my AR, I would just blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, so underneath all the bullshit, there was a true act of, I don't know what the fuck you want to call it, heroism. But he's trying to do a good thing. Now, granted, yeah, he shouldn't have been there, but I get it, He's got the right. Everybody's got the rights. Well, there should be more people like that wanting to stop the bad. Right? But just as much as he shouldn't have been there, so as much as the rioters and the looters and all that shit, they shouldn't have been there either. So, but again, like I said, the only thing I don't like is they try to make it about something else. They try to make it about race. They try to make it about poverty, fucking privilege. Like, no. That's so stupid. They had video evidence. The guys that testified, they asked the right questions. The guys on the podium, under oath, said, he didn't shoot me till I pointed my gun at him. It's like, okay, so he thought his life was in danger, so he shot you to get away. Whether you lived or died, he shot to get away to protect his own life. Greater danger theory, self-defense, whatever you want to call it, boom, kid's good. Like, bottom line, black and white, that's it. Everything else sprinkled on top, little sprinkle, whatever. That's it. Case closed. You know what I mean? So just happy the verdict went the way it is, and that's it. Just because of the system, the process, like I said, the American justice system. All of them idiots. I think all of them sounded like fucking idiots. And then I don't understand the news coverage on it. That's another thing. Don't even really want to get into that. News coverage on that, and then like the chick with the Epstein thing, they're not even covering that. There's no video on that anywhere, blah, blah, blah. That's like the case is also going on at the same time as this one. But only thing anybody could talk about is this Kyle Rittenhouse shit. The world's corrupt. I hate it, but whatever. You got to live in it, right? So anyway, back to like sports and shit. Basketball season's kicked off pretty well, or pretty good so far. The only thing that sucks is, and this is my opinion on it, like Harry, people like that, they love basketball, they'll watch every game, or they'll keep an eye on every game. I don't. There's 82 games. I wait till after the All-Star break, really, because the Bucks they won last year. They're just local. Like, you watch the Bucks games. Other than that, don't really care. In all honesty, I think it's the opinion of a lot of people. It's like, okay, You get your ESPN alert on your phone, like, oh, so and so won, awesome, and that's it. Nobody really watches the games too much unless you have absolutely nothing to do. Sitting on your recliner with a beer, maybe, but that's my opinion. I don't know, but the season's going okay so far. I think it's just too early to tell. Like they got predicted winners, stuff like that. I mean, they played like 16 games or something so far, maybe 15. You can't get nothing done there. It's like saying that's like calling your predictions right now for college basketball. And they just like this over this weekend. They've had these tournaments, which they have, all those preseason tournaments or whatever it is, or early season tournaments, But you can't judge anything right now. I don't think, because it's such a long schedule. It's such a long season. There's so many games that you have so many more opportunities, obviously, right, to turn your season around. And there's just as much as turning your season around as another team tanking in their season wherever they're at in it, So it's like I just still think it's too early to tell. I think the Lakers, now that LeBron's back, are the best team. They should be. They have so many. They have all-star. It's an all-star team, So like they should do well. The only thing with the Lakers this is what I hate, right? So like LeBron comes back from his injury, okay, and Jason Tatum puts up 37 for the Celtics, and they beat the Lakers. But all that you see on SportsCenter and all that they cover and all this stuff is how LeBron James should have got fouled on this one like play, inbound play or something, or loose ball. Didn't get fouled, and then it's like, oh, now you pissed off LeBron. And then LeBron goes down the court and like has makes a layup, gets fouled for and one. And then they show his one dunk in the game. Like that's the highlights. And I hate it because it's like the Celtics won. Jason Tatum put up 37. Pretty freaking good, No coverage on that, just how LeBron dunked it once and then he got mad. And then he went down and made an average 3-point play. Hate it, man. Hate it. But if that's what people want to see, that's fine, People just, they're not creative mentally. So just keep them dumbed down. But basketball seasons, it's all right. Rockets are 1-14. Rockets should be okay, Everybody's kind of average right now. Jazz 10-5. But it's like, it's too early to tell who's going to be that great. Steph had a crazy game. That's another thing. Steph, one of the best players of all time. Changed the game. He's an era type player, right? Just like LeBron was. Absolutely changed the game. Steph drops. He had a crazy game the other day, but that's all they talk about. It's like, move on. Get somebody else. How are the Sixers doing? Nobody knows. Nobody cares either. But maybe that's why. Bucks 8-8. They're not doing that great. Giannis talking about him leaving in a couple years potentially. Just, I don't know, man. It's too early for everything. But NBA basketball is kicking off. Too early to tell. That's all, If I had to predict early, I guess I got to say the Lakers are going to turn it around. Like now that LeBron's back, for sure now, even though he's involved in practices and stuff. They're just so, I think Russell Westbrook should come off the bench. I don't think he should start. I just think he's an explosive type player that if you got starters in the game that get fatigued, now you got your bench players. Well, my bench player is a Russell Westbrook who is 150 miles an hour at all times. My bench guys aren't going to keep up. Or you keep your starters in, or your best defenders. Try to cover the guy. And then it's like, okay, somehow you manage that. You still have so many weapons out on the Lakers. Are just, there's no way the Lakers don't win this year. And if they don't, it's because if they don't win, it's because of injuries, ego, I don't know, just getting in their own way. Like there's no way the Lakers don't win this year. They have to. You have way too many all-star type players on your team. They could have kept Caruso, who's an all-star type player, for the Bulls. But, well, I don't know, man. We'll see. Anyway, enough about basketball. I'm bored already. Of basketball. Just let it get to after the All-Star break. Things get interesting. Playoffs definitely get interesting. College basketball, same thing. Still too early for all that, Duke could be good. I watched the UNLV game a little bit the other day. They could be a sleeper. I guess they had 8 transfers. But that's another thing. I don't really keep up with that until March. So, here and there I'll peek in, obviously. You see who's good, who's not, who's winning, who's losing. But other than that, fuck. Basketball just kicking off, you know what I mean? Back to football, though. Ohio State today, they're C.J. Stroud, 432 yards, 6 touchdowns, beating Michigan State. Now, I wouldn't normally care, right? I would not normally care, but Michigan State was, I believe, undefeated up until then, or they had 1 loss. I don't know. Either way, they're a good team. I thought Michigan State was a good team, sleeper team. In the Big Ten, they beat Michigan. So definitely a good team. I mean, the running back I think just broke 2 records or 2 school records or 2 NCAA records. Not exactly sure. I can't remember, but Ohio State just does what Ohio State does, and I hate Ohio State. Absolutely hate Ohio State. But they just do it. They just made a state. This is a statement game for Ohio State, I think, as far as going on into the college football playoff, because they should win their East. And then Wisconsin now is tied with Nebraska? No. Either way, Wisconsin's tied for first in the West. So Wisconsin could actually potentially make the Badgers could make the Big Ten championship as long as this last game against Nebraska goes well. Because I think they played Northwestern. Did they play Nebraska today? No, I think they beat Nebraska today. That's why, dude, I am all sorts of backwards here. Either way, Wisconsin is now tied for first in the West. Ohio State should be on top for the East. That could be an okay. I think Ohio State beats Wisconsin though, just because Ohio State's Ohio State, which sucks. But this game for Ohio State, such a statement game, because they're beating a very good Michigan State team, 56-7. That doesn't happen. That's an Alabama versus Appalachian State type game, which 2 weeks ago, I think it was last weekend actually, pissed me off. Alabama was playing, I don't know, whatever college state. This late in the season makes no sense to me. You can argue tune-up game, trying to get them ready for whatever. It's like, no, that does nothing for your program. All it does is make your record look better. But yet, and they're still going to be number 1, like a top 4 team at the end of the year. Yeah, they recruit well. Yeah, they usually beat the bigger teams like a Clemson sometimes or an Auburn in their rivalry game. But that shit pisses me off more than anything because they're getting so many free games. It's a free win. Alabama versus, I think it was New Mexico State. I think it was. And it was like 46-0 at half. Or something like that, right? Whatever. But it's absolutely stupid. I hate it. I hate it. Just because it's like Alabama needs to only play Power 5 schools or like top ranked. They're that good, top ranked schools. Just because, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not fair because, it's not their fault they get all the good players. It's not their fault they win a championship every year, every other year. It's not their fault they're always in the playoff. Well, yeah, it is. And they're always in there because they're beating up nobodies, man. Akron or some shit. Appalachian State. New Mexico State. Stupid. It just bothers me. Because, I don't know, man. All these Big Ten schools, everybody in the Big Ten is competitive for the most part. Maryland's, Northwestern's usually hit and miss every year. Maryland's usually not, which kind of sucks, but they kind of got the short end of the stick ever since joining. But, it doesn't matter. Nebraska can upset anybody at any time. Indiana can upset anybody at any time. Iowa obviously is proven this year. They're always up and down on the top 25. You got your Michigan, your Ohio State, your Michigan State. It's so competitive in the Big Ten. And they have to play, and the Big Ten will go out and they'll play an SEC school as their non-conference, like a Wisconsin versus LSU, or Oklahoma, or they'll play these other teams. They're not necessarily playing, UW Stevens Point in their 9th game of the season. Get out of here with that shit. Alabama does not deserve to be in the playoff. I don't care what you say. I know they're good. I love Nick Saban. Nick Saban's one of my favorite coaches of all time. I just think that their schedule can be tweaked a little bit better. If you want a non-conference game, don't play New Mexico State. Go play somebody in the Big Ten. Somebody that you could potentially see in a playoff. Michigan. But, nobody wants to see that. They want to see that at the end. Yeah, whatever. Every year it's written. It's a written road, a written dynasty to the playoff. It's the same 4 teams, same 5 teams cycled through that get in. It's just, I'm over it. It's just boring. You know what I mean? Just boring. But, yeah. So, thanks everybody for waiting for these last couple of weeks. Like, thanks for the continued support. We're still getting followers on the Instagram. We're still doing, all this stuff too. The T-shirts and stuff. We've given out a few to people. Reach out to the show if you want one. T-shirts, hats. We still have them. I personally, we want to get rid of these before we do any kind of other future merchandise thing. This first little batch was just for people that we know, big supporters of the show, or they watch, or they actually, have been involved or been sticking around, or just general support, which is awesome. So if you haven't gotten something, if we still have some in your size or anything like that, hit us up. To see if we can get you a shirt, T-shirt, or hat, whatever. Again, thank you for all the support so far. It's a lot of the kids in our high school that watch too as well. So thanks, you guys. Seriously, watch or listen. It's awesome. Speaking of our high school, so state football just ended. Didn't agree with any of it. Well, as far as I couldn't even watch. Just made me sick to my stomach because we should be. Yeah. Anyway. So the only thing so far at the end of this year that bothers me right now is that we had a kid, and I love the kid to death. Aiden, he's so much talent. He had school record now. He still leads the state in sacks, or he led the state in sacks. And he was on our all-region team as long as a couple others. But if anybody could have been considered for state, even honorable mention all-state in the defensive line position or outside linebacker defensive end position, it should have been him. He led the state in sacks. I don't understand the criteria. He didn't get anything. He didn't even get honorable mention. I don't understand the voting and how that works. And they divided up into large school and small school, all-state, so that it's even and there's more options to choose from. He didn't even get honorable mention. Makes zero sense to me. And there's guys on there that didn't make it to state. There's guys on there, it's not like you got to make it to state to be an all-star. Yeah, it might patent your exposure or whatever, have more exposure, but that just pisses me off because it's like, it's not just because of bias towards the team or towards the kid or just because of whatever. I think that you should be recognized for outstanding achievements. And if this kid is leading the state in a category, how is he not an all-state candidate as far as honorable mention goes? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I just don't understand the process. Whatever, what are you gonna do? It's stupid, but anyway, enough about that. I'm over it. Now this is the first time in a year and a half for me personally that I haven't had to think about coaching, like football or something. So I'm in an actual off season. Just started hitting the gym again. Tweaked something in my lower back, which is weird. I'm okay, but just a little sore. Ass cheeks though. My ass cheeks are so sore from working out, from doing legs and stuff. Dude, so tight. You probably have an idea, but you have no idea. My cheeks fucking tight, dog. And just sore, man, I'm just sore, which I love it. I love it because it's getting into, I haven't worked out in a long time, obviously. But getting back into that, I got nothing else. I can just do the gym stuff, work, focus on the next thing, which is kind of nice for me. So, but my ass cheeks are fucking sore, dude. Like, sit down. I don't want to get up after this. I don't want to stand up after recording this because it hurts, kind of, you know. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to the YouTube if you're listening. We do record it on YouTube, and we put them out there as well. If you're watching, you'd rather listen, like car ride to work or something like that. Spotify's the best one, but we're on other platforms as well. iTunes, I think Apple Podcasts, East Krok Podcast on both. YouTube.com East Krok Podcast, Spotify East Krok Podcast. Check out our Instagram. That's like our main social media thing is Instagram. So East Krok Podcast on there. Twitter, not too active on the Twitter. We're just liking stuff really. Patreon, if you'd like to support the show, we're not as active on the Patreon as we should be, but we're just trying to get followers first and try to people engaged into the show first. And I believe ixto facto that will help boost the Patreon as well. So if you'd like to support the show, patreon.com/East Krok Podcast. And yeah, and that's it, and that's it. So thanks again, everybody, for waiting a couple weeks to let us get another episode out there. It was a good 2 weeks, but it was a sucky 2 weeks as well because I was sick. So, but we should be back on track. Thanksgiving coming up. It's Fat Boy holiday. Let's go. And then Christmas, best time of the year. In my opinion, it's the best holiday. Everybody's naturally like in a better mood around this time, because I think everybody just hates the cold. It's like we can all universally hate one thing, and that's like cold weather or snow or traffic or, that we're not hating each other. So everybody loves each other, which is kind of nice. And I love this time of year because of that. So happy holidays. Enjoy your Thanksgiving coming up this next week, right? And we'll catch you guys in the next one.